With that being said, let's jump into our last story of the day regarding the Europeans resorting to burning wood amid desperate search for energy. And get this, Greta Thunberg is giving them kind of her whole charade. Oh, you losers, you're sick and despicable. You can't be burning wood. Well, she wants to limit them burning wood too. You can't make this up. You freaking A. This is the time we live in. These freaking leftist policies have just destroyed nations. As Europeans burn more wood amid an energy shortage ahead of the winter months, Greta Thunberg and other climate activists urge officials to discourage such activity in favor of solar and wind power. You want to hit your head against the wall. Folks, you don't have to be a genius to know that solar and wind just ain't going to do it. And you got to love that they're discouraging them from burning wood as we're about to go into the winter here, where it's generally overcast. There's not a ton of sun in the winter, depending on where you're at. And they want to push solar and wind. You don't even have to be a rocket scientist to know that there's not enough solar and enough wind power to power everything. And for some reason, they're still pushing this, but they don't want to talk about nuclear energy. Can't talk about that. That's too bad, even though it's some of the cleanest energy you could possibly produce. Energy prices in Europe have increased more than tenfold throughout 2022. This year alone. Tenfold in just less than a year. Amid the fallout from the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Remember when the Germans and everybody laughed at Donald Trump because they wanted to do all these things? The European Union wanted to do all these things with Russia, and he's like, yeah, you're all insane. You're insane. Okay, are you kidding me? You're laughing now. I'll be sitting there in Mar-a-Lago laughing at all of you. And now it's happening. Now they just shot themselves in the foot, and it's going to be a cold winter, folks. Over the weekend, Russia severed natural gas shipments through the Nord Stream 1 pipeline until sanctions imposed by Western countries are amended. There's talks right now that once we hit the winter and you got people freezing, that a lot of this stuff is just going to go and evaporate because people want to stay warm. And I think Ben Shapiro talks about this of it's not so much people being hot right now that's killing them. It's the cold that kills human beings. It's the cold that gives the devastation. It's the cold that people are going to be pissed about. And that's coming in just a couple months here. We had companies in various parts of Romania, Hungary, Poland, and others reducing timber into wood pellets and exporting them to Italy, Germany, Austria, and other Western European nations, according to an investigation by the New York Times. Although Europeans subsidized wood burning over a decade ago as an incentive for households and businesses to reduce dependence on fossil fuels, wood pellets produce more emissions than coal. And where's all your coal? Why'd you get rid of the coal? Well, even if forests are allowed to regrow, using wood desperately harvested for burning will increase carbon in the atmosphere and warming for decades to centuries. As many studies have shown, even when wood replaces coal, oil, or natural gas, the reasons are fundamental and occur regardless of whether forest management is sustainable. Burning wood is inefficient and therefore emits far more carbon than burning fossil fuels for each kilowatt hour of electricity produced. You know what? When somebody's freezing their ass off, and it's depending on these emissions and staying warm and keeping their kids warm and stuff like that, forget the whole emissions at that point, okay? It gets freaking cold. It gets extremely cold, and they're whining and complaining about all this, including Greta Thunberg coming out. Says this, forest biomass takes minutes to burn, whereas it takes anywhere from decades to centuries for the climate and environmentally harmful tree plantations to sequester the carbon emitted. Again, this comes from Greta Thunberg. This equals decades of carbon debts that we do not have time for. It's all about time, right? We're gonna die. The world's gonna blow up on all of you. Screw you. You don't like carbon. You don't like this. You don't like green energy. Screw you. I'm trying to be nice. She's 19 years old, but geez Louise, man. Somebody just needs to wake her up. You know, sometimes it takes a little bit to kind of look back and be like, you're crazy, lady. You're freaking crazy. All of this, though, has led the European banks to do basically and conduct these stress tests that complete with backup generators and dim lights to determine whether their operations will be impacted by energy rationing, according to a Wednesday report. The move comes after Russia again cut off that natural gas pipeline, and basically the European Union is scrambling to address the energy shortages while natural gas prices increase more than tenfold once again, folks. Think about your oil gas prices increasing tenfold. Y'all would be pissed. We all knew it's coming. It's been going on since Trump's time. Trump told them. I know I'm repeating myself. Trump told them. And it just turns out a lot of things that Trump said would happen are all of a sudden happening. And nobody wants to give the man kudos because of the Mar-a-Lago raid. Everybody thinks he's a threat to democracy. The man knows how to run a country, folks. The man knows how to run a business. Leading banks, many of which facilitate transactions crucial to the European economy, are therefore conducting stress tests to determine the possible impact of rationed power supplies. If they're testing this, folks, that's basically saying, hey, this winter, we're going to start rationing people on their energy. Like I've said, I know I'm repeating myself, it's going to be a cold winter for the Europeans, folks. One person familiar with operations at JP Morgan Chase, which employs thousands in London and Frankfurt, told Reuters that the company has carried out powder outage simulations and could use diesel generators to keep offices running for multiple days. It's so weird. I was just told that we shouldn't burn wood and all these things because we want green energy. I was told just, a couple minutes ago in an article that we were supposed to have, wind and solar. Why are they burning diesel? I thought we weren't allowed to do that. I thought that was wrong. What about all the air that we're breathing? What about the trees? What about the environment? I was told we shouldn't do that. I was told we should plug in our electric vehicles, all the while the government at the same time tells us, hey, don't plug in your electric vehicles because our power grid can't handle it. Another source told the outlet that UniCredit, the second largest bank in Italy, tested the resilience of its data processing amid low power supplies. Meanwhile, Euronext, which runs the Italian and French stock exchanges, said it had reevaluated its energy consumption and processes backing up its generators. From its backup generators, rather. Swiss company Zurich Insurance Group is darkening offices and turning off decorative power consumers. Man, this is just company after company after company making changes. And if they're doing this, folks, it's probably coming. Several nations have already implemented energy usage restrictions or warned that such policies could be necessary for the coming months. While the legislature of Spain mandated that public air conditioning be set no lower than 27 degrees Celsius, to put that in Fahrenheit, that's roughly 80 degrees, 80.6, through the summer. Why have it on at all? I guess 10 degrees is much or more, depending on where you're at. French President Emmanuel Macron called for a 10% voluntary reduction in the nation's power usage to avoid last resort consumption limits. What do all these countries have in common? Oh, they're not really pushing conservative ideas, free market ideas, because now they're in this shitstorm here because of the policies that they want to push. And they will continue to push when they have massive ramifications. They can't even build a freaking energy grid knowing that it's going to be hot this time of year. We just got done talking under Phil Wegman's segment that California, I've lived here my entire life. It always gets hot like this. It's not any news. It's not even a shocker. Sure, it might be like 5 to a few degrees higher than normal, but it's always hot. And they still can't figure it out. All the while they keep pushing all these ambitious, stupid agendas, and they can't even figure out how to do a power grid correctly. They can't even repair our roads correctly. Why the hell would I trust them with trying to figure all this out? I wouldn't. They suck at it, and they're going to continue to suck at it. They can't even figure out how to take care of our vets. They can't figure out how to get rid of the homeless population. I can go on for I can rant for hours. You all know where I'm heading with this. It's ridiculous. The problem with this is what you're seeing in Europe is going to happen here in America and already is in some states. I'm giving you a prime example. California did not have enough power yesterday to service their freaking citizens, the people in the localities. I'm one of them. ISO was level 3, the highest I've ever seen it. Didn't have enough power, rolling blackouts going on from anywhere from 15 minutes to 2 hours all across the state. But they have it all figured out, folks. Don't worry about it. Democrats will take care of all of you. If you believe that, you're a knucklehead, okay? Democrats suck. Government sucks. Government sucks at everything. With that being said, folks, thank you so much for watching the show here on The Bald Brad Show. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Go over to Fox News. Give Peter Ducey some love over there. Read his articles. And don't forget Phil Wegman at Real Clear Politics. Go show him some love as well. Give him the clicks that he deserves on their website. And folks, as well as us, don't forget us here to hit that like and subscribe button. Once again, share this link with your friends and family all over social media. And I will see you tomorrow here on The Bald Brad Show. I hope you enjoyed that clip from The Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.